price of high quality color accurate displays for creators is just insane these days. For those of us that want the best PPI, color accuracy, build quality, viewing angles, and price performance ratio, it seems like we've hit this premium default that makes our eyes water in debt-ridden agony. And not just because of price, but just the sheer overwhelming options these days. And your heart may be set on the Apple Studio display, a 5K color accurate screen and a 27-inch aluminum frame. But that can cost you as much as $2,300 if you want a matte coating and a fully adjustable stand. So what if I told you you can have even more accurate color in a larger size with a subtle matte coating and a fully adjustable stand for a lot less money? Well, I wanted to tell you about my new favorite monitor for content creation, and I feel like it sits at a sweet spot of size, PPI, price, and performance. And it's this display right here. It's the perfect alternative to the Apple Studio display. You see, we're finally seeing a lot of 32-inch 4K OLED displays coming out into the market, but most of these are targeted towards gamers. And a lot of these newer models feature insane refresh rates, and they cram in so much on the spec sheet as they can, which is great, but not if you have a certain budget. These new displays that are coming out, they cost at least $1,600 and go way up from there. And this is based on this new ROG Swift PG32UCDM, which will be the first 32 4K OLED at 240 Hertz. And these new displays are insane, but they have to be cooled with large heat sinks, since not only is the refresh rate really high, but the peak brightness is really high at 1000 nits. But what about us creators? What about us photographers, videographers, and designers that don't need 240 Hertz? We simply just want the most color accurate panel that we can get in 32 inches. And that's where this comes in. It's a 4K OLED panel. It's the Innocn 32-inch 32Q1U. On the specs, it's 4K, which is 3840 by 2160, USB-C with 90 watts of power delivery, HDR10, a 1 millisecond response time, pivot and height adjustable stand, 540 nits of brightness. The Adobe RGB coverage is 99%, DCI-P3 also 99%, and it also has true 10-bit color, and its calibrated delta E is less than 1. So this panel right here next to me, mine is actually calibrated to 0.4. So that means it's factory calibrated. It also supports split screen picture-in-picture if you need that. This is literally the most color accurate monitor out of the box I've ever tested. Innocn has managed to use the very latest and best display technology from LG, but hidden in a much cheaper, albeit professional enclosure. You see, secretly, the display here uses the same panel that's in the new LG 32EP950B. But that display costs as much as $4,000, maybe on sale for $3,500, but who wants to buy that when you can buy this one at a fourth of the price? That's right, this display is on sale right now for about $1,000, sometimes even less when there's a coupon. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that, and I will have my affiliate link down below, which just helps my channel out if you decide to purchase this. So wow, everything looks quite amazing, and yes, this 32-inch size is, in my opinion, much more desirable for critical pixel pushing, so your details are spot on, versus say that 42-inch 4K OLED C2, which I reviewed. I'm a huge fan of that display because it functions as like an all-in-one main display, and I can easily switch between Mac and PC with a separate KVM switch. But the drawback on that one is the pixel density. That C2 OLED is a PPI of 105, whereas this is a PPI of 138, which means a higher density of pixels, giving you sharper details for critical design and photo work. And this display also features a very subtle matte finish to help minimize reflections, whereas the C2 had more of a glossy, look to it. And its nearest competitors that may offer similar color reproduction would be the Apple Studio Display, which costs at the minimum of $1,600 with just the regular tilt stand and features a 5K display in a smaller 27-inch frame. Thus, that display is a true Retina display. And there's also the Pro Display XDR, which is $5,000. Does not even include a stand, but it is a 6K display at 32 inches. So when you see this display and its subtle matte coating, it kind of reminds me of the Apple Studio Display with that nano texture glass. And there's of course the LG 32EP950, which has the same panel as this Innocn, but costs $3,500 on a good day. And there's yet another one from Asus, the ProArt, which is the PA32DC. Again, same panel as this, but costing about the same as the LG. And then we also have a brand new display from Samsung, the Viewfinity S9, which is the first 5K display we've seen outside of Apple in a 27-inch frame. But its price, build quality, clumsy stand, cheap plastic design, it just makes you want to spend $1,600 on the Studio Display. So you can see, those of us with shallower pockets, this Innocn is a very good option, and it gives us the very best color reproduction. It's got true 10-bit color covering 99% of DCI-P3, giving you incredible gradients and shadow fall off for photography and graphic design. You'll see color and detail so lifelike you'll wonder if you're living in a simulation. There appears to be no OLED ABL enabled on this panel, which is great for sustained brightness in your creativity. Hopefully not bad in the long term for burn-in, but I found as long as you keep your desktop clean, hide menu bars, and have a rotating desktop background, you'll reduce those risks dramatically. Being OLED means it doesn't matter where you're sitting, your color and brightness are true at every angle, which makes even the very best IPS panels seem inferior in every way. Being OLED means there's no backlight bleed or color uniformity issues. I've seen this so often in IPS panels. Even high quality ones like the Apple Studio Display, it can happen. For us Mac users used to Retina, do I miss true Retina? With the 42-inch C2 OLED, I did. I started to miss it quite a bit. But moving back to this 32-inch 4K display, I don't miss it nearly as much since I'm sitting a bit further back than a 27-inch 5K. It feels pretty much the same in terms of density, but if you look really close, yeah, it is slightly less sharp than a true Retina display. Honestly though, I get so lost in the color reproduction, viewing angles, and vibrant, accurate color. Retina resolution doesn't matter as much to me at this point. I mean, having a monitor like this with a delta E of less than 1, it's kind of unheard of, and you're getting color that's basically almost like a reference monitor in my opinion. This is different than most OLED TVs like the 42-inch C2 because of its pixel layout. It uses JOLED technology. It's a JOLED panel, which means the subpixel layout is just like the one found in common IPS panels, so you'll get crisp, sharp text. The LG CT uses WRGB, which actually adds a white pixel to boost brightness. And this non-traditional pixel layout causes text and critical details to suffer a bit in terms of creative design and photography. So JOLED offers better color accuracy and better detail compared to those large OLED panels used in TVs and a lot of gaming monitors. In terms of industrial design, I can't argue with Innocn's design choices here. It's a matte gray finish, well built, heavy stand that has tilt height and swivel adjustability. The only thing that would make this better would be removing this bottom chin that's housing these oh so horrible speakers. I'm not even going to put you through the torture of listening to these. They're so bad. If you need them, they work in a pinch, but man, I just don't recommend using them. And that's actually what will always set the Studio Display apart. And you can watch my review here on the Apple Studio Display. The speakers in that are otherworldly. They're so good. Also, this has no webcam. Maybe that for you is another reason to shell out more Benjamins for the Studio Display. I don't know. I mean, webcams are pretty cheap these days. And the plastics and overall finish of this display are very professional and sit very well with my other peripherals. So I'm a fan of most of the industrial design choices made by Innocn here. In the box, it comes with all the cables you'll need, USB-C for your Mac or PC and a power brick, and one of the USB-C ports actually acts as an audio out headphone jack, which is kind of weird. And unfortunately, the extra ports don't work as a hub, so just keep that in mind. You'll have to plug hard drives directly into your laptop. So to sum up, if you're looking for the very best in color reproduction and accuracy, and your focus is on graphic design, photography, video production, and other color critical work, there's really no better option at this price point, in my opinion. You get more screen real estate than the 27-inch Apple display, and you're paying far less, especially compared to displays that literally have the same exact panel. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today on this review of the Innocn 32-inch 4K OLED. I appreciate you guys sticking it out to the end. Please like this video if you liked today's content, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I drop new content, and I'll see every one of you on my next one.